Well, back. Thanks for joining me in the 15th part of how to build a VR space game. In the last video, what we did was we got this main menu here set up. We got it so that we can start our game, and we got it so we can quit our game, but we didn't get the level select set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to set that up. So go ahead and just create a new scene. And what we're going to do first is create a UI panel. And you can see here that it's just a regular panel. I'm going to change my background to be this galaxy's wallpaper that I made. You can find this on my website. I'll leave a link below for you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change its color. I don't want it to be transparent at all, so I'm going to bring the alpha all the way up. Then I'm going to change its anchor here to centered instead of stretched. And then I'm going to change the width to be something less stretched. Alright, let me see what it looks like if I do preserve. Okay, yeah, that's close enough. Alright, and now that we have that set up, I'm going to make a text. I'm going to anchor that to the top center. And then I'm going to go down and call it, or put the text as level select. Then I'm going to center that text. Then I'm going to check on best fit, and I'm going to change the colors, or the text color, to white. Then I'm just going to scale it up a little bit. Alright, that looks good. Now I'm going to create a UI button within the panel. And I'm going to bring that to, or as a matter of fact, first I'm going to change its width to 50 and its height to 50. And then I'm going to bring it, I'm going to keep it centered, but I'm going to bring it up here. I'm going to keep the anchor as centered, but I'm going to bring it up a little bit. I'm going to change its name. I'm going to press space, parenthesis, 1, parenthesis. I like doing it like that because when I duplicate it, it'll look exactly like that, but the next number higher. Alright, now that's set up there. Let's go ahead and go onto our text and just put 1 for level 1, and then change the text to best fit. And then I'm going to change my color of my button. I like having my buttons transparent and then becoming less transparent when you click on them. So I'm going to have mine like that, and I'm going to change the disable color to be even darker or even more transparent than that. So if I press interactable, then you can see what that looks like. Maybe I might put the text a little brighter just so we can see it better when it's disabled. Alright, that looks good. And then what I'm going to do now is just duplicate this button. Then I'm going to bring it right next to it. And I'm going to change the text to say 2 instead. And then I am also going to change that button to change interactable to false. That way it's locked first. The only way to get it open is to beat the first level. Alright, and now we're going to create one more button. I mean, unless you have more levels, go ahead and create all the buttons you need. But I'm just doing the 2 levels right now. And this button, I'm actually going to change its name. Instead of 3 to 0. I'm going to bring it up. And the text is going to say back. Or you can say like main menu or something. And I'm going to change the button's width to 100. Then I'm going to anchor it to the bottom center. Alright, and also we need to change it back to interactable. Okay, now that we have that on there, let's set up the VR. Let's duplicate this camera. Select both of those cameras, change the width to 0.5, change the skybox to solid color, change the color to black, and then on one of the cameras, change the X to 0.5. And then the canvas, we're going to change its screen overlay to screen space camera. And we're going to set it to one of these cameras. And then just set your distance to whatever you like. I like having mine close, but it really doesn't matter on this level because it's the only thing in the scene. Alright. And now that we have that set up, just duplicate that canvas. Set it to have the opposite camera. And then now our virtual reality look should be fine. Yep, there's one canvas for each eye. Alright, now go ahead and create an empty game object. And then just call it something like selection or level selection. levels, and then add a new component. Just call it level selection. It's going to be a new C# script. Create and add that, and then open it up. And this is going to be a pretty simple script. So first off, what we're going to want to do is we're going to need to be using Unity engine. I wonder why this is all red like that. Oh, okay. Using Unity engine dot UI. Also using Unity engine dot scene management. And here we're going to say public string array, and we're going to say level names. Then we're going to get a public button array, and then we're going to say locked buttons. And then we're also going to create an int, and we're just going to say levels. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Alright, now let's get the start function back on there. And what we're going to say is levels equals player prefs dot get int, and then levels. And then we're going to say if levels equals 0, then for each button, I'm doing this all wrong. For each button in what do we call them? Locked buttons. For each button in locked buttons, if levels int equals 0, then button dot interactable equals false. Then we're gonna say we're just gonna copy that. If you're not gonna have any more levels than 2, then you don't need to put an if statement. You can just put just say else instead of if, and then we're gonna say if levels equals 1, then we're going to set that to true. I spelled true wrong. Alright, and that's just gonna say if we did beat the level. Oh, I took my number lock off. No wonder that's not working. Alright, we're gonna say if this integer is 1, then we can now choose this button or click this button. And alright, so now let's go ahead and let's create some functions here. They're gonna be public because we're gonna want our buttons to use these. So public void back, and that's gonna say scene manager dot load scene, and we're gonna get level names. I can't spell. Level names, and then we're gonna get the first one for back, and then did I do that wrong? Oh, I did spell that wrong up top. Okay, so that's fine. And yep, that'll load our main menu scene. So let's copy that, paste it twice. The first one's gonna be called level 1. Then we're gonna load scene 1, or scene 1. Then we're gonna get level 2, and we're gonna load level 2. And then we're gonna create one more function. You don't really need to create this function. I just like to have this for testing purposes. Public void reset, and then all this is gonna do is reset the levels integer. So you can say player prefs dot, you could say delete all if you like. That'll delete every single saved information that you have in your player prefs. Or you can just say player prefs dot set int. You can say player prefs dot set int, and then we'll set levels to 0. And that's the same thing as this, except for it doesn't delete everything. It just only sets this one to 0. So just in case you're saving other stuff, you won't have to delete all of it. You can just set this back to 0. Alright. And I'll just keep them both in there, whatever. Save that. Yeah, there's no point to keep them both in there. Let me take levels. Yeah, there you go. Do whatever you like. Make this game yours, of course. And hopefully I didn't get any errors here. And unless you're gonna have music or sounds in this scene, go ahead and delete these audio listeners so Unity doesn't complain that there's two of them in there. Alright, so far I have two levels, or actually three. I have the main menu, which is this level, level 1, and level 2. So the first level, which is back, is going to be main menu. The second level, second level, which is 1, is going to be, I called mine VR space game. Whatever you decided to name that level you've been working on for your first level, put that in there. And then level 2, just put in level 2 if you have one. If you don't have one, then just whip one up real quick and then put that in there. Alright, and now what we're going to want to do is we're going to get the lock button for level 2. We're going to get both of those, so just drag that in there. And drag this one in there. And hopefully, I was going to say it should be working, but we forgot to set some stuff first. So let's go ahead and select, select all of the buttons that we have so far and add an on-click function there and just drag levels in there. Alright, now select both of the zeros, and then we're going to go down to level select, and we're going to click back and then select the ones, level select level 1, select the 2s, level selection level 2. Alright, so now this should be working. Oh, I forgot to put the reset button. So if you want to do this, it's optional. Just create a UI button in the panels. Select both of those buttons, and I'm gonna anchor it to the top center, and I'm just gonna pull it down a bit. Alright, I'm gonna change its size. Let me just scale it like this. I'm gonna keep it like that, or you know what, yeah, 90 by 30. That's good. I'm gonna change the colors to match these ones for the buttons, how I did with the first ones before. The disable color doesn't even really matter. We don't need to disable this. And then the text, I'm gonna change to say reset. And I'm gonna click best fit, and that'll reset our game. Let's go ahead and call this button reset. And then we're gonna add an on-click function here. Drag in levels. Oops. Drag that right in the slot, and go to level selections and select reset. And what that'll do is it'll reset. Like I said, it'll reset the level and back to 0. So this will be locked again. Alright. Alright, now we have that. Let's save that and just save it in your scenes. Okay. And then let's go back to our main menu. As a matter of fact, let's just do it like this. Let's wanna try it out, see if it works. I think the canvas is looking a little small. Did we? No, we did not scale it with screen size. So first off, we're gonna scale this. We're gonna change the graphic scaler from constant pixel size to constant pixel size, and then we're gonna match at 0.5. And then I'm going to go into the panels, grab both of those. I'm just going to use the scaling tool. I'm going to bring these guys up a bit, something like that maybe. I'm going to play again and see what it looks like. It's a little big. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Something like that. And yeah, that looks just fine. I like that. If anything, it'll just have a black background in the back there. And it looks like the back button's getting cut off a little bit, so I'm just gonna bring the back button, or yeah, I'm just gonna scale it down a little bit more, and that should be fine. So save that. Let's go back to our main menu, and then let's set our level select level as the level we just created, which I just called it levels. So if we press play, and we can select our level select, and it'll take us here. And as you can see, I can't select with my with my joystick axis, or horizontal and vertical axis. So let's go back to that scene, and we're just gonna have to change that on the event system. Save this scene, and then within where's my event system at? Oh, it's under here for some reason. Let me pull that out there. Okay, the event system is there. Just set a first button. I'm gonna set it to 0 or to 1, which is level 1. And then now it should be working to move on the axis, or with the axis inputs. Yep, now it's working just fine. And it's okay if just one side is lighting up, because these are both going to be layering on top of each other when you look at it in your goggles, so it'll just look like one of them. Alright, so now that we have that set up, let's set the integer when we beat the game, or when we beat the first level, to set it to 1. So go ahead and go into the game manager, and the only thing you need to do is add this line right here. PlayerPrefs.setInt levels to 1 if our kills are greater or equal to the max kills, which just means that we beat the level. And if you're gonna be having multiple levels, then what you could do is you can create some type of string, I guess, for the current level name. What we would say is public string current level. Current level name. And then what we're gonna do, current level name, and then let's also get let's get another string here. It's gonna be string array actually, and that one's gonna be levels, or we'll just do level names like we did in the other one. So level names, and then current level name, and then what we'll say is let's see, if, let me take a quick look here for how it's setting the integer. What we'll say is if current level name, oops, I keep on spelling that wrong, current level name equals, we'll say level names, level names, and then we'll get if current level names equals level names, what I'm gonna have is the first level here, and then the second level, listed in here. It's gonna go in order. So we'll say if it's the 0, the first one, that's gonna be the first one on there. Then we'll set it to 1, and then you can just keep on doing this for the next amount of levels you have. So oops, I meant to copy that. So copy that, and then just paste it here, and you'll say if it equals 1, then set levels to 2. And all that'll do is, just make it so that whatever level you're on, then you can set the right levels in, so that if you beat level 3, you'll be unlocking level 4. And then we just click my levels here. Just make sure I have everything filled out right. Level names. Actually, I didn't even change anything on this, so that's all good. Let me go into my VR Space game level, and then we'll just set that quickness up here. Where was it at? It's on the game manager. Current level names. Let's go ahead and let's just create 2 levels, because that's all I have. VR Space game, and I was gonna copy that. Paste it there. The second level is going to be, I just called it level 2, and then the current level name is VR Space game. So if I were to go to my second level, I'm going to save this one and go to my second level, and then I'm going to go into the game manager again, just like we did with the last one. I'm going to set this to 2, and then the first one is going to be, as a matter of fact, like, we don't even really, oh yeah, well, you know what, we do need to have it like this. So let's go ahead and just set it to the same thing that we just did. Oops, I keep on pressing the wrong button there. Alright, so this will change the levels into 2 instead of 1. I'm going to save that. And now the level select should be working just fine, and when we beat certain levels, it should be unlocking those certain buttons. Alright, so I'm actually going to be calling this the end of this video. In the next video, I think what I'm going to finally do is show you how to calculate whether you're grounded by using a raycast instead of the collider, because right now if you collide to something, if you're in space and you collide with something that's in front of you but your feet aren't on the ground, you're going to be grounded because it's going by collisions. So we're going to fix that up by using a raycast. Also, our ragdolls, when we die, like when we kill robots and stuff like that, they go by the gravity of the world, of the Unity world, not of your planet. So we're going to be fixing that up too. All right, and I really enjoyed your time. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button. If you have any questions, as always, make sure to leave a comment there, and don't forget to subscribe.